Welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, I apologize where we are filming today. Like I said, I'm still in the process of trying to figuring out where my permanent filming situation is going to be and what that is going to look like. Still have not gotten my ring light yet either, so that's another issue. But I had time to film today and I had daylight to film today, so I wanted to go ahead and just keep filming for you guys. So I hope the background's not too distracting. It's kind of boring, I know. But yeah, hopefully you're not here for the background. Today we are going to be talking about makeup products that are just okay. I sometimes do overrated beauty products or beauty products I regret buying and stuff, but these are products that kind of didn't fit any of the categories. They weren't necessarily the most hyped up products, or they weren't the most talked about products, even though they probably were talked about at one point, and they weren't products that were so bad or didn't do their job to be categorized as being bad or products that I would regret. These are just products that were kind of in the middle. They did what they were supposed to do, but they didn't make me feel some type of way. You know, I know you're probably like, so then what's the point of these kind of videos? But I still think these videos are helpful just because everybody has different makeup preferences. So I could be like, I don't like this product, or this product didn't really wow me for this reason. And it could be a product that you're like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for something exactly like that. Thank you for sharing, kind of thing. So I still wanted to share it with you guys in case you guys have different preferences than I do, or in case you guys may like some of these products that just didn't end up working the best out for me. And like I said, I will go into it more detailed. It's not like these products are bad, and I'm not going to get rid of some of these products, but they just didn't wow me, and I wanted to talk to you guys about them today. Before we get started, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you guys turn on that notification bell button if you haven't already. We have quite a few products here, so I'm going to shut up and we're going to go ahead and get started. This is from Catrice, and this is a Catrice Cosmetics Prime and Fine Smoothing Refiner Primer. Yeah, that's what it's called. So it looks just like this. It's like a pink paste almost. It's supposed to be like a line smoothing, pore filling primer, and it does do that, but it doesn't do it the best. I have other pore filling, line smoothing primers that I like better, that feel better on my skin, and that just I feel work better. This one does work well, but it's very, very thick. So when you take it out, it's like a paste. And it's super thick, kind of leaves a white residue, and it's a little bit greasy. So like I said, it did do its job. It's just, it didn't wow me. It's not one of my favorite products. It's just kind of in that awkward middle part. Another product to me that's just kind of are the eyeshadow palettes from Pure Cosmetics. So I have two here. I got these in a BoxyCharm, so I technically didn't pay for them. And they have really pretty shades. So this one is the Soiree Desires palette. Really nice neutral palette. I love that it comes with a mirror on it. This one also does come with a mirror, actually. So this one right here, and then it has more peachy and orangey tones, and then a couple pops of color. So I like the color variants of these. And like I said, these did work. They did blend out, they did apply pigment, they did create an eyeshadow look like I wanted, but they didn't wow me. There wasn't anything about them that I'm like, oh my gosh, these are super pigmented, or oh my goodness, these blend out so nicely. They didn't wow me. There wasn't anything that was oh my goodness about them. They weren't the most pigmented, they weren't the easiest to blend out, they weren't the ones that lasted the longest, they weren't the ones that were so different and so out there, or the formula of them was that. They were just in the middle. Like I said, they just didn't wow me in any sense. And I guess if I had to say would I spend my money on these eyeshadow palettes, I don't think I would, just because there are better eyeshadow palettes that cost around the same. These aren't the most expensive either. They're just in the middle. The last eyeshadow palette is a more recent addition to my collection, and I kind of talked about this on Instagram if you follow me there. But this is from Urban Decay. This is the Naked Ultimate Basics palette. Comes with a big mirror, and then you get all of these shadows here. You get a nice mix of warm and cool tones. You do have some warm pops of color there. You have some cool tones right here, some rosy tones, and then some neutral tones there. When I first saw this palette, or when this palette first launched, I really, really wanted it. I liked all the colors in them, and I feel like I can get a lot of use out of them because they're very neutral, everyday wearable colors. So I did want it. However, it was $54. And for $54, this is absolutely not worth it. Never pay full price for this eyeshadow palette. Seeing that it was $54 and it was kind of in the Naked series, it deterred me from getting it. And then Macy's had a huge sale, so this one went on for $27. So I went ahead and picked it up and I tried it out, and again, it's just an average palette. Like, I don't think it's worth the $54 at all because it's just so average. Like, these colors I can get in another eyeshadow palette. And like I said, they're just not the most anything, and that's kind of how I feel about their Naked series. Maybe it's just because I'm more into makeup that I like pops of colors, or I like more pigmented or anything like that. This may be good if you are a beginner on makeup, or if you want a shadow that's just kind of average, like it's not super creamy or super pigmented or super anything like that. You may like these, and that's not to say that that's a bad thing. Just for me personally, I feel like ColourPop makes way more pigmented, way more pretty and like popping kind of eyeshadows than like Urban Decay, and they're under $20. I think their palettes, yeah, most of their palettes are under $20. Their single shadows are like $5. As Urban Decay, I feel like most of their palettes run for 50 something dollars, and their single shadows are just crazy overpriced. So like I said, they weren't bad. They did the job that they were supposed to do. It's not a total flop. It's just not a palette that I reach for, because if I'm looking for one of these colors, I typically tend to go for other shadows like ColourPop, Makeup Geek, Makeup Forever, Anastasia, and stuff like that, just because they're more pigmented, or they're more, I guess, at the level that I want to work with shadows. I'm not like 100% disappointed, but I kind of knew that this is the reason I don't buy any of their Naked series, just because I know that they're just kind of average shadows. All right, so moving on to some face products, I have 3 blushes to talk to you guys about. 2 are drugstore and 1 is more high-end kind of. This one is from Wet n Wild, and this is their Color Icon new formula blushes, and this particular one is apricot in the middle, and I do love the shade of this. It has a little bit of gold fleck in it. It's a really pretty shade for everyday wear and stuff. I do like it. Like I said, it's just not one that I reach for because it's not the most anything, and that's a lot of the issues that I have with these products. They're not the most anything, so it's like when I compare it to other blushes I have in my makeup collection, I kind of tend to not reach for these because they don't like wow me. I really do like it. I have to get around to using it more, but it's almost like I have to force myself to use it. It's a pretty blush, but you know, I have to build it up. It's not super uber pigmented. It's not the most lightest of weight formulas. It has a little bit of shimmer, so I can't wear it with certain things, or I can't do certain things with highlighters and stuff. So I have to work a little bit with it, and that's why it's in this collection, because it's okay, and I have to still work a little bit with it. The other drugstore one is this one from Milani. This is the Romantic Rose Powder Blush, and this particular shade, oh yeah, this particular shade is Romantic Rose, and it's their powder blush. It's this one with the rose emblem on it. Super gorgeous. Like if you're having this on your vanity, it looks really nice because you have the rose emblem on there. This one particularly kind of falls more on like the kind of regret buying it. It works, but it's like you have to make it work. You have to build it up. You have to go in with a specific brush to make it work. It's a matte formula, and it's not the most pigmented of matte formulas. It's a lighter shade, but I have lighter shade blushes that still show up really well. So, you know, this one leans more towards the kind of regret purchasing. It's really pretty, and I feel like that's the only reason why I keep it around. I don't reach for this at all. I don't use this at all because it's not incredible in any sense, and it's not really pigmented. So this one, it's okay. You have to make it work, but it does work. If you're one that likes barely any blush, you may love this because that's kind of how the formula is. It's barely there, and you really have to like work at it, like rub on it to get some good pigmentation. And then the other blush is from Mally Beauty. This is the Effortlessly Airbrushed Blush, and this is in the shade Perfect Peach. Weird because it's really pigmented, but it's like really powdery at the same time. So while you swatch it, you get a good amount of pigmentation, or it's like a really nice swatch. It looks powdery on the cheeks, and I have to like sit there and blend it out, or I have to like go over it with a little bit of bronzer and stuff. So I have to make this one work again. And I don't know why I keep it around. I like the shade of it. I think it's a pretty shade. I just don't think it's my favorite blush. It breaks apart like at the touch. Like if you push it, if you drop this, you would probably break it, just because it's so sensitive and it's so powdery and squishy. And I do like powdery and like pigmented blushes, but this one is like too pigmented and too powdery that you really have to sit there and work and blend to make it look good. This next one is from Lancome. This is the Glow Subtle Silky Cream Highlighter. This is in the shade Number 6, glowing lights. I don't know, I just feel like, I don't know if it's the color or what it is, but when you apply it on the skin, you see a little bit of glow, and then you like rub it out or try to work with other products and it just kind of disappears. So I don't know what it is with this one. Like I said, it does give you some glow, but it's not like, when I think highlighter and like I think like at the top of your cheekbones or a little bit on the forehead, I don't think of this one, and I don't reach for this one as much. I also think it's an awkward formula. It's like a cream formula here, and then when you apply it on, it's almost like a liquid and it like goes away kind of completely. So I'm not 100% sure what necessarily I would use this for, and I don't use this that much. I really don't. I do think it gives a nice little glow, but I think this is a product that I would just use under my foundation, or maybe like with a beauty blender, just hit the high points a little bit. I wouldn't just wear this because I don't think it gives me that glow that I'm looking for. And then the last highlighter I have to talk to you guys about is from Josie Maran. This is the Argan Enlightenment Illuminating Veil. This is a little travel size that I got. It has a really cute mirror with writing on it, and this is what the powder looks like. This powder is good. It's pretty pigmented, not the most pigmented highlighter, but I think I don't know, I wouldn't classify this one as a highlighter, and I think that's what my gripe is with this one. Like, yes, technically it highlights the face, like it makes it look a little bit lighter, but it doesn't make it look like glowy. So like this kind of highlighter is not what you get with this one. You get just kind of more like a matte white kind of lightening up effect. If you like that, that may be exactly what you're looking for. This one may be exactly what you want. But for me, I like a little bit more of a glow, a little bit more of like dewiness when the light hits the face a little bit, and this one just kind of lightens it up. It brightens it up, and I don't think it does the job necessarily well, because for brightening, I do have like banana powders or brightening powders that I use that are matte, that I know that won't have like shine or break throughout the day or crease. This one, because it does have like those little glowy like flakes or like some shimmer in it, I do think kind of breaks apart. So I wouldn't even use this as much for like highlighting the face or like lifting the face. I would use a more matte kind of powder or a banana powder over this. So I don't really use that one this much. I probably should get rid of it just because, like I said, it does the job, does lighten up the face. It just doesn't highlight the face, which is kind of what I thought it would be. And then the last product I have to talk to you guys about, I actually don't have with me. I already gave it away, but I will insert a picture right here. It is the Marc Jacobs lip gloss. I can't remember the formal name. I will write it down here, but I just think that they're okay. That was one I ended up giving to my sister just because I had a lot of lip glosses already, and it was one of my like not really used lip glosses, so I gave it to her. It does work. It's a gloss, gives you shiny lip, wears for a pretty good amount of time. It just, the formula of it wasn't my favorite. It wasn't like super liquidy or super glossy. It wasn't overly sticky, but it was like also not sticky enough. It was just a perfect in between. I much rather prefer my Buxom White Russian lip gloss, and I also much rather prefer my Hard Candy Girl Next Door lip gloss, the plumping one. I prefer those over the Marc Jacobs ones for sure, and I think there was another one too. The Sigma Lip Vexes I really like. There's just a handful of lip glosses that I much rather prefer over the Marc Jacobs one, so I'm really happy I didn't spend like money on a full-size lip gloss just because I don't think I would get the most use out of it, and I just don't think it's the best lip gloss out there. At least for me and for my taste, I don't think it's the best lip gloss out there. Alright, so that is it for today's video. Like I said, I'm really sorry about this awkward positioning where we're seated for filming. I'm going to try to get my filming situation set up so I can have like an established and regular place where I do film. I wanted to get a video out for you guys. Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all that stuff is going to be linked down below for you guys, as well as coupon codes to help you save some money. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all very soon in another video. Bye.